News Roundup by Jeff, the Blind Explorer. You can hear the latest news today. The Philippine Atmospheric, Geophysical and Astronomical Services Administration (PAGASA) on Thursday said they have observed signs of a weakening trend of the El Niño phenomenon across the tropical Pacific Ocean. In an advisory, the State Weather Bureau said the season is anticipated to persist until March-April-May 2024. With a 74% chance of a transition to El Niño Southern Oscillation (ENSO) neutral conditions in April-May-June 2024. With this development, the PAGASA ENSO alert and warning system is now raised to La Niña Watch, the advisory said. The agency added the likelihood of below normal rainfall conditions remain high, causing possible dry spells and droughts in several areas of the country within the first quarter of the year. At an earlier press conference, PAGASA said the peak of El Niño may bring drought to over 40 provinces in March or April. Dito nakakita pa rin po natin na March, April pa rin yung peak ng impacting El Niño. Around 40 provinces ayong makakaranas po ang meteorological drought conditions, PAGASA Climate Monitoring and Prediction Section Chief Ana Solis said. We can see March and April as the peak months of El Niño impact. Around 40 provinces will experience meteorological drought conditions. Some areas in Mindanao experienced near normal to above normal levels of rainfall while the rest of the country was subjected to below normal or way below normal rainfall for February this year. Meanwhile, the weakening of the northeast monsoon and the near absence of tropical cyclones should be expected as the La Niña watch begins in March. Most of the country may still experience way below normal to below normal rainfall, while Metro Manila may see temperatures of 20 degrees Celsius to 36.0 degrees Celsius. The Makabayan bloc in the House of Representatives, on Thursday, filed a resolution to look into the effects of El Niño on the country's agricultural sector following PAGASA's El Niño Advisory 7 stating that the El Niño may persist until May. As of Thursday, the phenomenon has already caused P1,236,853,305 worth of agricultural damage as per the National Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Council (NDRRMC). A total of 29,409 farmers and fishermen, as well as 26,731 hectares of crops, were also affected, while Bulalacao, Oriental Mindoro has declared a state of calamity due to severe water shortage. Senator J.V. Ejercito has withdrawn his signature in the written objection being routed by Senator Robin Padilla to his colleagues, which seeks to block the issuance of an arrest warrant against Kingdom of Jesus Christ (KOJC) leader Apollo Kibuloy. Ejercito made the decision hours after Padilla disclosed that he was able to secure the former support and those of Senators Cynthia Villar, Amy Marcos, and Bongo to protect Kibuloy from a possible arrest warrant from the Senate. After thoughtful contemplation, I would like to respectfully inform you of my intention to withdraw my signature affixed in the document objecting against the contempt order directed towards KOJC, Pastor Apollo Kibuloy, Ejercito said in his letter sent to Padilla on Thursday afternoon. Ejercito cited the serious allegations of rape, which were raised during the previous hearings of the Senate Committee on Women, Children, Family Relations, and Gender Equality. Ejercito said these have prompted him to carefully review the facts, testimonies, and additional information relevant to the accusations against Kibuloy. In addition, the lawmaker mentioned the recent charges of sexual abuse and qualified trafficking which were being sought by the Department of Justice (DOJ) against the KOJC leader. The public hearing of the Senate Committee on Women, Children, Family Relations and Gender Equality is a venue for the pastor to clear his name. I believe that our committee chairperson will facilitate a fair and impartial proceeding, Ejercito said. Practical. In a separate statement, Ejercito said his initial decision to support Padilla was, in consideration of procedural practicality, due to the DOJ's move to pursue charges against Kibuloy. The lawmaker also noted strong precedents, which indicate that ongoing cases can still be heard and investigated by the Senate. This means Pastor Kibuloy will get an opportunity to present his side, Ejercito said. Padilla earlier disclosed that he talked to Senators Grace Poe and Raffy Tulfo, who explained their decision not to support the move to block Kibuloy's arrest. Other members of the committee that have yet to make a stand on the issue are Senators Nancy Binay, Pia Cayetano, Mark Villar, Senate President pro tempore Lauren Legarda, and Majority Leader Joel Villanueva. In a Viber message to GMA News Online, Villanueva said, as Majority Leader and ex officio member of all standing committees, we give deference to the chairperson on how they will proceed with their respective committees. At the same time, we will ensure that the manner of conducting hearings is in accordance with the rules of the Senate. 4 signatures needed. Under Section 18 of the Rules of Procedures governing inquiries in aid of legislation, a majority of all the members may reverse or modify the aforesaid order of contempt within 7 days. The Senate committee has 14 members, which means Padilla would need to get the support of 8 senators to block the issuance of the arrest warrant. As of posting time, Padilla has 5 days left to gather more signatures. Asked about Ejercito's withdrawal of his signature, Marcos said, "Sinabi ko na mahihirapan talaga, yung 8 signatures, pero sige lang. I knew it would be difficult to get the 8 signatures, but might as well proceed." During the continuation of the Senate panel's investigation on the alleged human trafficking and sexual abuses involving the KOJC last Tuesday, Senator Riza Hontiveros cited Quiboloy in contempt after the religious leader repeatedly ignored the subpoena issued by the Senate as he invoked his right to due process. Minutes after the Senate panel decided on Quiboloy's arrest, Padilla raised his objection to the ruling. A majority of Filipinos said they were satisfied with the accomplishments of the Armed Forces of the Philippines AFP, according to a recent Tugon ng Masa survey conducted by Octa Research. According to a survey, 86% of adult Filipinos said they were satisfied with the AFP's performance while 87% said they trusted the country's military. According to the findings of the survey, the AFP received consistently high ratings for trust and satisfaction in 2023. As per the Octa survey, the AFP emerged as one of the most trusted and top-performing government agencies in 2023, Octa said. The Armed Forces satisfaction ratings were over +8.5 on all areas of the country, except for the National Capital Region where it scored +7.3 rating. Most of the respondents in A, B, C and E economic classes gave the highest satisfaction ratings. The AFP's net satisfaction rating hardly moved from +8.3 in October 2023 to +84 in December 2023. The AFP's net satisfaction rating rose by 5 points in all areas except in Mindanao, where it was down by 3 points, the survey noted. Meanwhile, the AFP's trust rating ranged from +77 to +89 across areas in the country, with the highest rating coming from Mindanao and lowest recorded in the NCR. The survey data was gathered through face-to-face interviews of 1,200 respondents from December 10 to December 14, 2023, with a ±3% margin of error at a 95% confidence level. The latest survey showed a slight improvement. In a previous poll released last December, the AFP scored a satisfaction rating of 85%. Amid sweltering heat, several beneficiaries at a cash assistance distribution in Benguet, Abra experienced fainting spells and dizziness. Thursday, thousands of beneficiaries crowded a sports complex to claim financial assistance. Medical personnel deployed in the area immediately responded to those who fainted and those who needed medical assistance. Hindi sila kumain sa umaga kaya nahilo. Dahil sa init na rin ang panahon. Tapos nagtutulakan sila at hindi nasunod ang pila, said Philippine Red Cross Abra Administrator Jing Bernal. At least 700 cops, military, and marshals were also stationed at the sports complex to ensure public safety at the cash assistance distribution. Meanwhile, the Metropolitan Manila Development Authority (MMDA) implemented additional measures to protect enforcers from the high heat, including frequent water supply distribution. Part po nayan is to make sure na yung MGA field personnel namin, MGA traffic enforcer during this summer is nasa magandang kalagayan, said MMDA Traffic Discipline Office Director for Enforcement Victor Nunez. Weather Bureau Pagasa said the ongoing El Niño phenomenon is weakening but warned the country may continue to experience high heat index in the coming months. Heat index is the measure of the temperature that a person feels, which is different from the actual air temperature. It is computed by factoring in the humidity as well as the air temperature. 42 C. It will still reach about 43 C sa Roxas and then 42 C sa Iloilo and Dumas. Pagdating ing April at May mas mataas pa talaga ang heat index, Pagasa climatologist Marcelino Villafuerte said. On Tuesday, Pagasa recorded a heat index of 42 C in Tuguegarao City, Cagayan, well within the danger level. Heat cramps and heat exhaustion are likely in areas experiencing a danger level heat index, which is from 42 to 51 degrees Celsius, according to Pagasa. Heat stroke is also possible with continued exposure. Earlier, the State Weather Bureau issued a La Niña watch alert as the phenomenon may start to develop in June. Two Filipino seafarers on board a merchant ship plying the Gulf of Aden were killed in the recent missile attack by the rebel group Houthi, the Department of Migrant Workers (DMW) said on Thursday. The DMW said 2 other Filipino crewmen were severely injured in the attack which set the ship ablaze around 50 nautical miles off the coast of Yemen's port of Aden. The agency vowed to extend full support and assistance to the families of affected seafarers, upon the directive of President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr. We in the Department of Migrant Workers sincerely extend our deepest condolences to the family and kin of our slain, heroic seafarers. For reasons of privacy, we are withholding their names and identities, the DMW said in a statement. Based on a Reuters report citing the U.S. Central Command, CENTCOM, the attack, which the Houthis claimed responsibility for, killed 3 seafarers on board the Greek-owned, Barbados-flagged ship True Confidence on Wednesday. The Greek operators of the True Confidence said the vessel was drifting and on fire. They said there were 20 crew and 3 armed guards on board, including 15 Filipinos, 4 Vietnamese, 2 Sri Lankans, an Indian and a Nepali national. The DMW said it is coordinating with the ship's manning agency and shipowner to know the conditions of the rest of the ship's crew, particularly the remaining overseas Filipino workers OFWs. We have been informed that they have been taken to a safe port, it said. The DMW said it has also coordinated with the principal shipowner and manning agency to work on the repatriation of the remaining Filipino crew members. The agency urged shipowners with vessels navigating the Red Sea and Gulf of Aden sea lanes to comply with the expanded, high-risk areas designation and to implement appropriate risk mitigation measures, such as rerouting vessels and deploying armed security personnel on board these vessels. It also called for continued diplomatic efforts to de-escalate tensions and to address the causes of the current conflict in the Middle East. Houthi rebels, an ally of Iran, have been launching long-range missile and drone salvos at Israel in solidarity with the Hamas militants fighting in Gaza Strip. Act of terrorism. In a statement, Senate President Juan Miguel Zubiri slammed the attack, describing such as a plain act of terrorism. I strongly condemn the fatal attack of the Houthi rebel on a cargo ship near Yemen, which led to the death of 2 Filipino crewmen and injured 2 more. This is an act of terrorism, plain and simple, waging violence and death on civilians who are simply trying to make a living out on the seas. There is no way to justify this brutality, Zubiri said. The Senate President likewise called on the DMW to seek the return of the victims to their families and extend assistance to the injured crew members. In November last year, 17 Filipino seafarers were among the foreigners held hostage when the Houthis seized a cargo ship in the southern Red Sea, according to the Department of Foreign Affairs (DFA). Foreign Affairs Undersecretary Eduardo de Vega earlier said that while the release of these OFWs was certain, there was no assurance of when this would occur. DFA has also sent a team to Yemen to provide assistance to the affected seafarers amid the ongoing negotiations.